Hey everybody, this video is on the Khan Academy assignment, excuse me, analyze vertical asymptotes of rational functions. All right, so let me write this down on a sheet of paper. It's p of x is x squared plus 20x plus 100 over x plus 9. Okay, and the question is, describe the behavior of the function around its vertical asymptote, -9, x equals -9. Excuse me. So there's a vertical asymptote at -9 because if you put a -9 right here where x is, it's going to make the bottom 0. And that doesn't cancel out on the top. Right? So what I mean by that is I can factor this top, and it could be, what, x plus 10, x plus 10 over x plus 9, right? Now, if there were x plus 9 on top and 1 on the bottom, then there would not be a vertical asymptote there at -9. There would be what's called a hole in the graph, or a point of removable discontinuity. And that's, please remember to check out your book. And all the terms are in here, right? So make sure you go in and read through this, at least, peruse it. It's around page 279. And all of the terms that you need and definitions are in here, right? So the point of this lesson is not really to give you notes, because you should be able to glean your notes from the book. And you can write down whatever you want as I teach. But the point of this video is really just to show you how to approach this particular Khan Academy assignment. All right. So since x equals -9 is not in the domain of this function, then there will be a vertical asymptote there. Vertical asymptote, that's how you spell it. Okay, so if I were to graph it, I know when I get out here, say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I know out here at -9, there's a barrier. All right, what else do I know? I also know that because x plus 10 is on top, -10 is where it's going to touch the x-axis. And I know it's going to touch at -10 because it's a double zero, right? So x equal -10 is a 0. It's actually a double 0, isn't it? Double 0. Which means, since it's a 0 even number times, it's going to bounce off right there. Okay. Now, the question on Khan Academy is asking, what's going to happen around -9? So describe the behavior of the function p around its vertical asymptote, x equal -9. So here are the choices. The graph of p approaches -infinity from the left and from the right of the asymptote. All right, so what they want to know is, as you approach from the left, what is the graph going to do, right? Is it going to go up? Is it going to slide up the wall, or is it going to slide down the wall? Right, now, one way to do this is to just pick a number on the side of -9 and see where it is, right? So like if I were to pick -8, I could do like try -8, see what happens. So if I put -8 in here, that's going to be what? -8 plus 10, -8 plus 10 over -8 plus 9. That's going to be 2 times 2 over 1, 4, right? So that means at negative 8, you're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have a feeling it's going to go up right here as we get closer. And you could put in another value. You could try like, well, how about, let's get even closer. What's x equals negative 8.5? What would happen if I put in negative 8.5 here? So do the same thing. That would be negative 8.5 plus 10. And instead of writing it twice, I'll just square it. Same thing. Over negative 8.5 plus 9. Well, you're still going to end up with a positive number here, right? But that's going to be what? That's a half, right? That's 1.5. So it's going to be 1.5 times 1.5, which I think is 2.25, over a half squared, which is like 0.25, right? I mean, what do you get when you divide that by? It's like multiplying that by 4, isn't it? Because 0.25 is 1/4. So flip that over, multiply it to the top. It's going to be like 9 or something. I don't know. It's not really important exactly what it is, but it just got bigger, right? So that means that as I get closer than this by half, it's going to almost double, right? So obviously it's doing this from the left. So the graph approaches negative infinity from the left and from the right. Well, that can't be right, because I just showed it's approaching positive infinity. Okay, what about from the other direction? So as I come from the other direction, what's going to happen? So I could put in a 10 here. Now, I know what happens at 10. It touches, right? It's going to touch the x-axis. So maybe I should try, I don't know, 11. Or let's get even closer than 10. Let's get closer to 9. How about negative 9.5, which is right about there, right? So let's try negative 9.5, which is on the other side. So try x equals negative 9.5. All right, so now we're replacing these with negative 9.5 plus 10 squared over negative 9.5 plus 9. Well, that's going to be a half squared, and a half squared is a fourth, over, and this is going to be negative half, right? Negative half. And if you remember, you just flip that over and multiply. So if I want the value of this thing, I just do 1/4 times negative 2 over 1. And that comes out to be, what, negative 0.5? Negative 0.5, right? So on my graph then, as I get here, it's down here. So it should be approaching this way as it gets closer. So that means as you come from the left, as you come this way, the graph is going to approach your vertical asymptote and go up to infinity. As you come, oh, I got this backwards. This is coming from the right. Sorry. Good grief. I don't know my left from my right. So as you come from the right, it goes to positive infinity. As you come from the left, it goes to negative infinity. All right, and we can see that on our Desmos screen, right? So if I go to Desmos here, let me put in the x equal 9, which is your vertical asymptote, negative 9. All right, so zoom in on this a little bit. So as you can see, as you come in this way, it's going down, but all of a sudden it just turns around and goes off to infinity. It climbs the wall, right? As you come from the left here, it's climbing, it hits 0, and then all of a sudden it falls down the wall. It goes down to negative infinity. All right, so from the right goes to positive infinity. From the left goes to negative infinity. So the graph approaches negative infinity from the left. That's true. And from the right. No. Graph approaches negative infinity from the left and positive infinity from the right. That is correct. Cross fingers. Okay. It says describe the behavior of the function q around its first vertical asymptote x equals 3. All right, so let's graph this thing. So this is going to be x squared minus 8x plus 15 over x squared minus 6x. It's 9. All right, so what do we got? Now this is your vertical asymptote right here at 3, as it said. That's not part of the graph. It's in red, but it's not part of the graph. It's just, it colors it in sometimes, right? But it's an invisible wall. So as you can see, as you come from the left, it goes to positive infinity. And as you come from the right, it goes down to negative infinity, all right? So let's see if we can figure out how this is worded. As x approaches 3 from the negative side, right? So as x approaches 3 from the negative side, that's talking about this way, because we're coming from the negative. It goes to positive infinity. That's true. And as x approaches 3 from the positive side, it should go down to negative infinity. So I think this one's going to be correct. Let me see if that's right. As x approaches 3 from the left, it goes to positive infinity. And as x approaches 3 from the right, from the positive side, it goes to negative infinity. All right? So that's how you read that. If there's a negative right there, that means it's coming from the left, from the side with the negatives. And that little plus sign means it's coming from the side that has the positive, so it's coming from the right. Okay. This one, describe the behavior of the function around this vertical asymptote at x equals negative 5. So let's put that in there. So that's plus 2 here. And minus 24. And that's plus 10x here. 25. Okay. See what's going on. So the asymptote is supposed to be at negative 5. There it is. You can see what's happening. It's basically as you come from, as you come from the right, it's going to negative infinity. Right? And as you come from the left, it's going to approach negative infinity again. So this time it approaches negative infinity from both sides. So the graph approaches negative infinity from the left and from the right. That should be correct. Okay. And that's it. They all work pretty much the same. You can just use Desmos on this. And if you're curious about why there's a vertical asymptote there, it has to do with the factor of the bottom, right? For instance, when you factor this bottom polynomial, x squared plus 12x plus 36, it factors to x plus 6, and therefore there is a vertical asymptote at negative 6, because negative 6 is what makes x plus 6 a 0, and you can't have 0 on the bottom. All right, that's it. Good luck on this. Thanks for watching.